Hello, boys and girls. This is like the fourth take of this video because something keeps interrupting me, or some alarm on my phone keeps going off, or a certain somebody keeps insisting that I be his scratching post. I have so many scratches and bites and all this crap because he's just insisting on being a rambunctious little shit today, but that's okay. We love him anyway. We got a lot of shit to talk about, and this is, again, my fourth time trying to talk about it. So, anyway, start you off easy with some custom covers, or rather, standard covers that I printed out because people were telling me not to cover up the other movies in those multi-packs that I was covering up before. So that's why you see stuff like Broken Arrow and all that stuff. They're able to be seen in their proper glory, with a notable exception of a custom cover that I made for Entrapment, which I took the poster there, and with the proper credits and everything, I took that, and I took the spine from one of the older releases, and then I took the back part from the newer release, except I replaced the photos there with the two reasons why the movie got made, to see the Catherine Zeta-Jones and Sean Connery act together, as well as the very famous laser ass shot, which, I can think of dumber reasons to make a movie, but yeah, I got to make a cover that was rather unique and special to me. Then I took this cover here for Nebraska, which that's the theatrical poster there, and it was actually a DVD cover someone had made, but I modified it to be Blu-ray. As you can see, I changed the symbol and the dimensions and all that. Same with the Mummy here. Couldn't find the slipcover for this one. I updated it to have the Ultra HD logo on the side there and on the back, so it suited my needs. And then some eBay acquisitions here. These two have custom covers also. It's the New Mutants, which I've not seen, but it's the Canadian version there with the French title over there. I figured if I'm going to have the standard release in the collection, then I might as well have the French one, or the Canadian one that has the French on there, to give me some extra street cred, because we can't be like everybody else, especially because, what's that? It's a custom cover, and I modified it also to have the Ultra HD symbol on there. And the reason why was because this, I found out after the fact, only comes with the 4K disc. I had to order the Blu-ray disc separately, and it did not come with a cover, so I had to find one on Cover City, another custom cover site. I had to do that, and I had to modify it to fit my needs, put that good old Canadian slipcover on there, and I have the complete X-Men film series on Blu-ray, on 4K, and Blu-ray for the Rogue cut of Days of Future Past. I need to catch up because the last X-Men film I saw was Logan. I need to watch Deadpool 2, I need to watch Dark Phoenix, and this film, which I have to say, feel very sorry for this film, because this was supposed to come out in 2018, and it was supposed to lay the groundwork for all kinds of sequels and spin-offs and stuff, and then, Disney bought 20th Century Fox, and then this thing kept getting pushed back, and then the pandemic happened, and it had to get shit out into that horrible release into theaters, and it's like, what theaters were going to show it? Nobody. And it was for a franchise that was essentially dead, and so all this stuff it was supposed to spawn could never, ever come about, and it's like, well, geez, man, this movie, like, no matter what, it's like, I feel sorry for it. It's like, it could have been so much more, and it just got shit on constantly by circumstance, and it's like, that's not right. Similarly, a movie that got shit on by circumstance, Jersey Girl, which this film, it will run you $100 because this release of it is out of print, or at least it would be if I hadn't gotten the Region B Spanish version instead, which is actually cheaper. Found that on eBay. Una Chica de Jersey. Problem is, it's Region B, which is not a problem for me because I have a region free player. But the problem is, it's the Spanish release, so it automatically defaults to the Spanish dub. So then you have to go back and you have to change it to English audio. You try to turn off the Spanish subtitles that it auto defaults to, and you can't turn them off. It will always have the Spanish subtitles, so that sucks. But it's, it's a not quite so expensive way to get Jersey Girl in HD, and it's not even all that great of an HD transfer. I do hope that it goes back into print now that the Miramax catalog is, going out there via Paramount. But I have to say, talk about a movie that got shit on by circumstance and by the critics and the journalists needlessly. Because had this movie not come out in the wake of Bennifer and Geely, all that negative publicity that was coming towards J-Lo and towards Ben Affleck, I really think this film would have been regarded as Kevin Smith's Jerry Maguire. It has a lot in common with Jerry Maguire in terms of its themes and its just overall mixing of tones and genres and stuff. It's got a lot of heart. It's got a lot of really good, strong drama. George Carlin absolutely knocked it out of the park. He showed just what a good actor he truly was, and I'm so glad that Kevin Smith was able to give him a truly great role before he died. And Raquel Castro does a fantastic job as the kid. Unlike the Jerry Maguire kid, which I do like Jerry Maguire quite a bit, unlike that kid, I did not want to strangle this girl because I liked her quite a bit. I think it's among Kevin Smith's best work. I would put it in the top 5 if I'm being honest. Please, reevaluate this film because I really think it was given a horrifically bad hand by fate. And I think the movie itself is so much better than it got credit for, or rather didn't get credit for being. Now, we got a few Amazon acquisitions for you, most notably of which this was a relatively new release. It is the US released, fully uncut version of A Serbian Film on Blu-ray, finally, with the English subtitles and everything, from Unearthed Films and MVD Visual. Thank you to you both for putting this bad boy out. And it's actually not exorbitantly priced, because that older DVD that I had to get, that I stumbled upon, was like $80 on Amazon for that one copy, which I sold for like 20-something bucks, so I got a little bit of my money back. I didn't expect to get all of it back, but so glad that they put this out on Blu-ray in its fully uncut version, and you all better grab it now before someone decides to get all offended and take it out of circulation again. This movie's like a ghost. It pops up and then it goes away, and then it pops up and then it goes away. I'm hoping this will stay around for a while, but if it doesn't, then I have it with the slip and everything. Still find it amazing that people get so up in arms about a fictional movie about people doing bad things, and yet those same people who get all offended at a fictional movie, don't get up in arms about the real bad guys that really do those bad things for real. That's hypocrisy, my friends. And that's just being a fucking moron. That's a whole other rant, though. Now we got a bunch of John Carpenter coming your way. That's right. We got his very first one, Dark Star, also from MVD Visual, if I recall. Is that right? Is this the one that comes from MVD Visual? No, sorry, VCI. Which is the one that came from MVD? I don't know. I'm going crazy. This is my however many, 4th time doing this, so I'm losing my head. Dark Star. It's his first film. It is really quite good. It says a spaced-out epic of strange-love proportions. And I would agree. It's very, very Kubrickian, and it's like if you merged 2001 with Doctor Strangelove, which is pretty sweet. And it's very low budget, but I think it's really, really strong, so I'd highly recommend it. This might come with a slipcover. I don't know how I would go about getting it. I'll have to look up and see if it does come with a slipcover, but Dark Star, love it. Next up is actually John Carpenter's most recent directorial effort, which was all the way back in 2010. It was John Carpenter's The Ward with Amber Heard, who I guess we aren't allowed to talk about now. Or are we? I don't know. It keeps changing day to day. Or is it Johnny Depp we can't talk about? Who knows? I choose to talk about who I choose to talk about. Thank you very much. And this was back in 2010. This is the most recent thing that he directed. I still have not seen it. And, yeah, I don't know why he's had such a gap between, like, this was 2010. The previous film, Ghost from Mars, another acquisition here. This one's from Indicator. And this is a UK release, although powerhousefilms.co.uk. But it's also region-free. And this version is a bit more fancy than the crappy Mill Creek release that we got in the US. This is a little bit more prestigious. But this film came out in 2001, so then we had a 9-year gap between this. And then since The Ward, he hasn't directed anything since. And I think it's because he is just happier, composing music and being, an executive producer on the new Halloween film that came out in 2018 and all that stuff. And he's probably got enough money to where he's like, yeah, screw it, But still, it's like, you do miss the man. But yeah, these are two of his later period works, which I still need to watch. And another later period work that I watched not too long ago, that was Escape from LA, which you saw that I have the Studio Canal 4K of Escape from New York, and this is the Scream Factory of Escape from LA, which I got from Amazon. This film, man, what a puzzler this is, because I can't really decide if it is a product of its time, a product of, 90s extreme, this and that, or if it's, like, meant to be a parody of all that. I think you could make arguments for either one. I might be leaning more towards the parody of the 90s extreme aesthetic, because, I don't know, though, because I'll say this. The moments in this movie, it's almost exactly the same movie as Escape from New York, except the stuff in this movie that is good, the good stuff, it's far better than even the good stuff in Escape from New York. The not so good stuff is what the fuck. Absolutely what the fuck. Like the hang gliding and the surfing and the just sheer ridiculousness of some of this, I don't know if you'd call it spoof humor or satire or what, parody. There's just a lot of what the fuck moments in this. And it's to the point where you're like, are they trying to emulate Batman Forever? Because it feels very Schumacher in terms of its scale and its silliness through, like, the middle act. But then once you get to the ending, which I won't say what it is, but the ending, it's like you went from Batman Forever and then you took a hard right into Watchmen or V for Vendetta or, like, an Alan Moore thing. You went from silly, ridiculous to, like, holy shit, this is dark. This is like, the implications of this are unreal. But good for them that they ended strong, And again, the stuff that I like in this film, I like a lot more than the stuff that I liked in the first one. So it's got higher highs, but it's got lower lows. And it's more 90s extreme, you might say. I think Escape from New York overall is a much more solid movie and a bit more, mythic. Whereas this feels like it's much more of a open, like, either satire or spoof of LA culture. But, again, the stuff that's good in this is really, really good. And especially that ending. The ending, I thought, was just really, really good. Better than the ending in the first one. To the point where it's like, I can't dismiss it. I think it does too many things that are done at a high level. It's just the stuff that's ridiculous is just truly what the fuck. Like the surfing thing, I was like, well, at least I didn't forget about it. I can say that much. But again, it's like I don't know if that was intentionally silly or not. I don't know if how self-aware they were. I want to say that they were self-aware, but I can't tell if it's like they were trying to make fun of the 90s extreme aesthetic or not. I really can't tell. Okay, now for the main event. Scream Factory, they had a sale of a bunch of John Carpenter films for John Carpenter's birthday. So I went ahead and I grabbed up the other John Carpenter films that I did not already have. And so I do technically have all of his films on Blu-ray now. Problem is that 5 of these that should come with the slipcovers do not. And so those 5, I will probably try to sell them to try to get, because I bought them at a discount price. I'll probably try and sell them for more than what I bought them for, so that way I can make a little bit of profit, and then I can get the ones that have the slips, and that way it roughly evens out. And I am disappointed in that, but there's a good chunk of these that I looked them up later, and this is partially why I'm glad I'm redoing this from the earlier version I did, because in the first take that I did, I was like, I don't know how many of these come with slipcovers or not. There are quite a few of these that apparently do not come with slipcovers, and they're good the way that they are. So those are the ones that I'll keep. The ones that do have slips, I will probably either sell them for more than I bought them for, or I will try to match them with slips, or I don't know what. We'll figure it out. But there's a good chunk of these that I have now realized that they come the way that they're supposed to. That's what she said. Well, one of them is, because it's a steelbook, is Assault on Precinct 13. And it's with that gorgeous, and I haven't opened these yet, so I'm going to do that right now for the ones that I for sure will keep, because they are complete. Yeah, this is Assault on Precinct 13. It was his film that he did after Dark Star, but before Halloween. And I've heard good things about it. I've heard good things about the music. I mean, obviously it's good music because it's John Carpenter doing the music. And he's obviously really good at music. So yeah, we got that awesome cover there. Awesome back cover there. I love those steelbook designs that they did for these John Carpenter films that they put out. There you go. So yeah, Assault on Precinct 13. I have not watched any of these yet, but I will. Because I got through all the Kevin Smith films, now I can get through all the John Carpenter films. Now this one I'll probably leave sealed, unless I'm able to find the slipcover separately, or I don't know what. But it's Body Bags. This should come with a slip, but I know that slip has been out of print for a while. I did find some on eBay, and I will make sure to, find one that does have the slip. So I'll leave this sealed for right now, but yeah, it's Body Bags. I guess it was like a TV movie that he did. Another TV movie that he did after, well, actually, let's just do 2 in a row. 2 TV movies that he did after Halloween, because he was genuinely afraid that, this thing's going to be a flop, I need to work. And for a while there, it was looking like Halloween was gonna flop, and then it just got word of mouth praise, and also a good review from Roger Ebert, and it did eventually become a massive hit, and ensure that he could do other things. But in between that time, he did 2 television films, and that is, first one is Someone's Watching Me, and then the other one was Elvis, with Kurt Russell as Elvis. Now, these ones do not come with slipcovers, so again, I can feel good about opening them up. Because, see, I was putting in a return request with Shout Factory, because I was like, well, if these don't come with their slips, then it's like, well, I can at least get my money back or whatever, but I might be able to make more money back if I can sell the other ones. But anyway, Someone's Watching Me, not watched this yet, but it's got Lauren Hutton, Adrienne Barbeau, Charles Cyphers, and it's got a cool cover too. But that's that, and then of course Kurt Russell as Elvis. Oh boy. Now this actually, if I recall, this has the distinction of being the first Elvis biopic that was done after, directly following his death. Because this was 1979, I think. It was a TV, movie. And yeah, so it was still pretty recent. Elvis died in 77. And Kurt Russell does, look pretty good, as Elvis. Which again, no slipcover for this one. You would think it would because it's a Shout Select, but apparently not. Um, but yeah, it's Kurt Russell as Elvis. How about that? I cannot wait to see this because I'm an Elvis fan. Oh, look at that, Elvis the movie. That's nice. Um, yeah, I'm an Elvis fan, so I'll be curious to see what all they do with it, and especially because this was one of the first ones. I know that Baz Luhrmann, of all people, got he and Warner Brothers got the rights to the entire like Elvis Presley music catalog, and that they were planning on doing like this massive like Elvis musical like jukebox musical biopic, which I don't know. Baz Luhrmann and Elvis, that seems like a weird pairing, but hey, I mean, could work. I don't know. This one I'll probably leave sealed for right now, unless now this slipcover for In the Mouth of Madness. Apparently, this slipcover is really hard to find. I'm not giving up hope yet, but it's like the one that I'm seeing on eBay right now is like $90, and I'm just like, why? Why do these things go out of print so quickly and so like? I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to it, but I'll leave that sealed for right now unless I, see if I can sell it or do whatever. Now this one I can open because this one does not have a slipcover, and that's Memoirs of an Invisible Man with Chevy Chase and Daryl Hannah. Not seen this one either. Kind of an interesting move there. This was put out by Warner Brothers. Because the Invisible Man book by H.G. Wells, I think it might be in the public domain if I recall, so anybody can do an Invisible Man film. Because the film series that Universal did, and that the reboot that they did in 2020, which is pretty good. That whole thing, that's all part of the Universal Monsters, catalog and everything. But yeah, anybody can do an Invisible Man film, so there you go. And it's John Carpenter, so there you go. Okay, and then these three here, I felt like there were, there are five, sorry. There are five that I have to leave sealed until I can know what to do with them. But there's Starman, which that one I know has a slipcover that I gotta find. And then Vampires, gotta find that slip. Which I've seen on eBay pretty easily. And then Village of the Damned, which I need to grab the original version of this before I watch this one. But anyway, that's what it's going to be for this particular go-around. 4 takes later, and I finally got through it, and there were no interruptions. So hopefully you liked all that. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, set phasers to stun, warp factor 5. I will see you in the next video. And by the way, guys, remember that other initiative I talked to you about? No Money Film School? Well, guess what? I have started it up. Officially, I have the No Money Film School channel. I'll provide links in the descriptions, and I did my very first feature film commentary track of Back to the Future. I watched the 4K restoration, and I did my full feature film commentary, in which I talked about screenplays, and I talked about script structure and planting and payoff, that kind of stuff, because that movie has one of the best scripts ever written for film. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. And like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, so you'll be expecting to see more of that kind of content coming from me, as well as the unboxings whenever new stuff comes in. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. I have got to heal from my many, many wounds here. And thankfully a certain someone has been sleeping off camera. And I'll hopefully heal this awful, zit or whatever that is. So I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe.